I'm Christopher Tumussime and working with Trinity Forestry Services as we are implementing the urban farming project in the slum areas, and basically in Kampala with Kamwokya, one of the slum areas of Kampala, with a very high population and growing so fast. Our challenge goal has been to improve on the well-being and also environmental well-being of the people living in the slum areas. So what made us passionate about choosing this idea is that we are working in communities of the slum, in the urban areas but are slum areas. That means that are highly populated, that have small spaces, that have a big number of youth that is actually keeping on growing. And even the lives of these people living in these communities are actually, they are too poor, then their poverty is not changing because they're not having an income or grew up in the ghetto and in the slum. That's what we call the ghetto. So because we've been in these communities and we've been seeing these people, seeing fellow people, fellow youth suffering in this situation, they don't have jobs. Even when they have studied, but they cannot get employed. Others are housewives, are staying home. The household income is very low, or even sometimes they don't have any income. So this is what inspired us. And then because these people would contribute to the environment, would contribute to their improving their well-being, but they didn't know or they didn't have the capacity. And so we had to come up to these communities and then had to help these people do something. And this is what pushed us for the service or for the benefit of the communities. It has not been easy. We've had challenges. However, these challenges have not kept us down, that whenever we would have these challenges, they would instead teach us more and had to learn and continue moving on. The apps that we've had, first of all, we were youth and we were working with the youth. So this is one was an advantage to our side, because even the women would listen to us or would want to learn, because they're seeing that people who are looking like them are coming to them and are the ones who are bringing this technology to them and teaching them this. Secondly, it was an advantage that it was income generating, and it was the solution was addressing the problem in the community, because the solution of urban farming generating income was addressing a solution of poverty, which was a big problem that was actually causing more of other problems, like if drug abuse, like theft, like so on and so on, health problems and so on, from nutritional deficiencies. So this solution was addressing the problem. So the challenges we faced were financial issues. This lack of finances caused problems that would not do efficient monitoring of these groups, of the teams that we had created, of the beneficiaries, and also those ones that had made gardens, because they still needed the technical assistance, the visiting them, the more mentoring them, and of course showing them this is to be done like this. We needed finances to distribute seedlings because the technology was new, so we had to distribute things for free, our seeds for free and other materials required. So we had those problems, those challenges of financial problems. Now this one caused also problems that would not afford to maybe facilitate trainees to come to the community and help us train these people. The more technology that we had beyond what I know or beyond what my other teammates had. Now this caused also other problems where the team also started losing hope, like of course, like human beings, of course, they would say, now this thing is not moving, now we don't have money to run it, and we have to look for money, and people became divided and would not now concentrate on the project. Secondly, we also had challenges with big organizations in the community, where you've mobilized the people with youth, you've trained them, you've brought them together, and you have a team, and then a big organization comes in and easily picks up the team and takes the team because you don't have money, you cannot run the groups. Secondly, also the members or the benefit, some of them are not focused. They lose focus on the project, and tomorrow you go there and then someone says, you know what, I'm putting this aside because I think it's not going to earn me enough. I would rather go and maybe work casually on a building and earn some quick money. Problems of quick money were also big challenges. However, we had the assistance, because this also helped us when we received 200 US dollars from a sponsor who was a friend. And so this helped us so much because we were able to purchase seeds and also some other tools. Now, when we went back to the community, this helped us run. But after this was exhausted, this also caused problems with our impact, that it did not grow like we expected it to grow. And then in the end, we ended up having 67 direct beneficiaries. So this limited us a little bit. We expected there's about 300 gardens, but we didn't reach that until when we had the GoFundMe page, which you helped us, Joan. And so this contribution also came in at a time when we needed it, and we were able to add on what would help us run. And so we are moving on slowly because of this, and also gave us strength to continue moving on. I grew up from the ghetto. I was born in the ghetto, and so I went to school and studied, and after finishing my high school, had to apply, because when you join college I had to apply. And then I loved that because I did sciences, so I loved a lot of plant science and things related to plants, things related to the environment and so on. So this called me to apply forestry, and then went to college and studied forestry at a diploma level. That's how I became a student at one step. Then I went after college, I had to go and upgrade, but though I didn't complete the course, it came on the way because of financial problems and so on, and didn't continue. But then I started this service and continued working in this field as a forester and also as an environmentalist because of passion. It's passion, but also became career. When we mobilize these people and then call them and then meet maybe a group of them, we do it in a participatory way. We use the participatory approach where you participate as a participant, and also we share the knowledge. Then we are able to find the solution, and then we are able to show you how the farming can be done and the benefit you can get. Now we start with the theory. We start with the theory part, that now you see you plant this plant and do this and do like this. Then we look at the economics also. What are the returns at the time? What have you been earning and so on. Then we also now do the hands-on practice, and then we show you that no, you don't even need a lot of money. You only need, you can collect the plastics or buy a kilo of plastics, and then be able to cut it into vessels and mix the soil like this, and then do that. So we do also the practicals, work with them hands-on. We do also the hands-on, how to plant, how you're planting. We are visiting these farmers, and then they're able to ask questions like, how can we do this? And then they advise, of course. Our model of training, the five of training one person and this person team. So when an individual is trained, this individual is encouraged to also, and this individual will have to transfer this knowledge that we've given this person to the other five members. In other words, this individual becomes an agent for the others, and then we pass through this individual, and this individual has to reach out to the five members, and this becomes a team. And then they're allowed to choose a name of their own, and call their project and call their team that name. So we keep on reaching these people as teams,